Hello students, let us continue discussing about thermodynamics. In thermodynamics again, we were discussing the concepts related to entropy. Entropy is denoted as S, and you know the measure of degree of disorderness or randomness in a system is called as entropy. What is entropy? The measure of degree of disorderness or randomness in the system. Is called as entropy. Now we know that in solids the entropy is less because there is ordered arrangement of particles, whereas in liquids entropy is slightly more than that of solids because the particles are able to flow. The molecules can move compared to solids, and therefore the disorderness is said to be more there, or entropy is high there. Whereas when you compare it with gases, in gases the particles are so free that they move in all the possible directions, and that is why there the entropy is even more. So among solid, liquid and gases, gases has higher entropy, then liquid, and then comes solid. Solid is having least entropy. Hope it is clear, and we saw the expressions related to change in entropy. Change in entropy is denoted as delta S, and we know that entropy is a state function because entropy change is related to, or it is measured by knowing the initial and final state, therefore, and it does not depend on the path carried. Hence, we know that entropy is more. Now, for example, they will ask you conversion of ice into water vapor. So ice into water vapor means ice is nothing but water in its solid form. Water vapor means water in its gaseous form. Now in which do you say entropy is more? What happens to entropy during the conversion of ice into water vapor? So you have to think. Ice means it is in solid state. The particles are orderly arranged. Whereas in water vapor the particles are free to move. So disorderness is more, entropy is high there. So you have to say entropy will increase or entropy increases. Otherwise you say entropy becomes positive. Entropy becomes positive or entropy increases. Hope you got it. So you have to see the state, physical state. In which state the entropy is more and less, you can judge by knowing where you have disorderness more. So that's about change in entropy. Change in entropy, one more, we have written an expression, total entropy change is equal to system change, that is change in entropy in the system plus change in entropy in the surrounding. And for irreversible process, that is for spontaneous process or irreversible process, delta S will always be positive. That means delta entropy will always be increasing, isn't it? If a process is taking place continuously, if a reaction is taking place continuously, what happens to the entropy? Entropy keeps on increasing. Entropy does not decrease because there will be more disorderness. Hope it's clear. That's about entropy. Now, one more thing what you need to remember related to entropy is that it explains about spontaneity of the reaction. Spontaneity of the reaction, whether the reaction is spontaneous or not, can be explained by entropy. That is spontaneity conditions related to entropy. Now we know how to calculate change in entropy, isn't it? Change in entropy means you will have to consider the two states, that is initial state and final state, then take the difference between them. Delta S is equal to S2 minus S1. So you get the change in entropy. Now after knowing change in entropy, how do you judge whether it is a spontaneous process or a non-spontaneous process? If a process is spontaneous, then delta S value will be positive. or delta S value will be more. So we say if delta S is greater than 0 means positive. If delta S is positive, then the process is said to be spontaneous. Then the process is spontaneous process. Spontaneous process. If delta S is less than 0, that means if delta S is negative, that means what does it mean? It means that entropy is decreasing there. If delta S is less than 0, that means if delta S is negative, the process is non-spontaneous. Non-spontaneous process means the process which needs an external aid for it to take place. It needs some external force or pressure or application to take place. Such process is called non-spontaneous process, which does not take place on its own. Whereas spontaneous process which takes place continuously and it is irreversible. It can be reversed only by applying some external agency, or only with the use of some external agency we can reverse it. Such a reaction is called a spontaneous process, whereas non-spontaneous process means which cannot be or which cannot take place on its own, but it needs some external aid to take place. Therefore, delta S is less than 0 means it means the process is non-spontaneous. Hope it is clear. That means process is not taking place continuously. If it is not taking place continuously, what happens to the disorderness? Disorderness decreases, am I right? If it is positive, that means if the process is taking place continuously, delta S becomes positive or entropy change becomes positive. If delta S is equal to 0, if entropy change is equal to 0, then what does it mean? If the value is 0, now no change is taking place, means what? It means the system is at equilibrium. Equilibrium is a condition where there will be reactions taking place, but it seems like the reaction has stopped. You will be studying, you have a separate unit on equilibrium, we will study about that. But for now, you should know if delta S is equal to 0, that means the system is at equilibrium. This is what you need to understand. This is about the spontaneity condition related to delta S. That means what? Entropy tells us to what extent there is disorderness, and one more thing, what does it tell? It explains about spontaneity of a reaction. It tells whether the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous, or whether the system is at equilibrium also. Next we will study one more important property called as Gibbs energy. Gibbs energy, very important. Gibbs energy or Gibbs free energy also we call, or Gibbs free energy also we call it as. This is a very important term. As you go on studying important concepts in chemistry, you get to know the importance of this particular Gibbs energy. So in simpler words to tell, what is actually Gibbs energy? Now we consider the part of that universe where the reaction is taking place as system. In the system, now if it is doing some work, the remaining available energy that is present in the system, so that we can do some work from that, or the work can be done by the system, that energy which is available in the system, that is called as Gibbs energy, or we say Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy means what? the available energy in the system with which work can be done. It's called Gibbs free energy. In simpler words, I'm telling you, I'm just trying to explain you what exactly it is. The available free energy. How much free energy the system still has so that some work can be done by the system. That's Gibbs free energy. So a person called as Gibbs explained this, and hence it is named after this person as Gibbs free energy, or Gibbs energy it is called. Now let us see how it is denoted as. Gibbs free energy is denoted as G. Denoted as capital letter G. Capital letter G is the denotion of Gibbs free energy. And the expression for Gibbs free energy, the expression for Gibbs free energy is G is equal to H minus Ts. So how can you define Gibbs energy using this equation? Now you know what is H, isn't it? What is H here? H is enthalpy of a reaction. What is enthalpy? Enthalpy means heat content of a reaction. What is T here? T means temperature of the reaction. Temperature of a reaction. What is S here? S means entropy of a reaction. Entropy of a reaction. What is G? G means Gibbs free energy. How can you define Gibbs free energy based on this expression? We say, you know, isn't it? If it is minus, we say difference. If it is plus, we say sum. If it is into, that is multiplication, we say product, the answers. So we define Gibbs free energy as the difference of enthalpy and product of, here it is multiplication, so product of temperature and entropy of a reaction. Is it easy? Gibbs free energy is defined as difference of enthalpy and product of temperature and entropy of a reaction. This is how using this mathematical expression you can define Gibbs free energy. So let's write the definition for this. Gibbs free energy is defined as the difference of enthalpy and product of temperature and entropy of a reaction. This is how you define it. Hope it's clear. If suppose we have to explain Gibbs free energy change, Gibbs free energy change is given as Gibbs free energy change. That means if there is any change in the free energy taking place, Gibbs free energy taking place, we write it or we denote it as delta G. Delta G means change in Gibbs free energy. Delta indicates the change in Gibbs free energy. So we denote it as delta G. So what becomes the expression for delta G? The expression for change in Gibbs energy becomes, using this expression we will write. So change in Gibbs free energy can be written as, here delta G can be written as delta G is equal to, here delta H minus, here temperature will be constant, so T into delta S. So which are the variables here, enthalpy, entropy and Gibbs free energy are the variables which can change. Temperature will be constant. So this is the expression for change in Gibbs free energy. If they ask you, write the relationship between change in Gibbs free energy change and enthalpy change, you have to write this expression. Otherwise, Gibbs free energy change and change in entropy relation, you will have to write this. So this is about Gibbs free energy expressions. Now there are many uses of this Gibbs free energy. So why it is used, or what is the necessity of knowing about this Gibbs free energy change, we will be studying. So one thing, Gibbs free energy change, it helps to know the spontaneity of the reaction. It helps us to know about the spontaneity of the reaction. One more thing, it helps to predict. When you are writing your notes, please frame sentence and write. Simply don't write as I have written on the board. Frame a sentence and write it neatly. One more thing, why this Gibbs free energy change helps. It helps to predict. Here what do we get to know? We get to know the available or useful work to be extracted. How much useful work we can extract, this we get to know from Gibbs free energy change. Clear? Next we will see the spontaneity conditions for this Gibbs free energy equation. Before that, we will see how it is related, how Gibbs free energy change is related to equilibrium constant. There are few expressions. Relationship between, for 1 or 2 mark they can ask you this relationships. They ask you how or write the relationship between Gibbs free energy change and equilibrium constant. Between Gibbs free energy change, or they also call it as change in Gibbs free energy, and equilibrium constant. And equilibrium constant. Gibbs free energy change is denoted as delta G. And remember, standard Gibbs free energy change means standard Gibbs free energy change means it is given as delta G naught. This naught represents the standard change. In few books you can see it written this way also, delta naught G. It's right anyways. So delta G naught means standard Gibbs free energy change it denotes. Now here they are asking you the relationship between Gibbs free energy change and equilibrium constant. So Gibbs free energy is denoted as delta G. Standard Gibbs free energy means delta G naught is equal to minus RT ln K. Ln K is nothing but ln is natural logarithm. You will study about it in logarithms and anti-logarithms. It is called natural logarithm. So we write ln. Ln we say LAN. Here R is universal gas constant R. T is temperature. This is natural logarithm. K means equilibrium constant. Again, I have told you about equilibrium constant or equilibrium. We will be studying in one more unit, next unit called as equilibrium, that we will study. You should be knowing what these terms are. Now if I have to convert this natural logarithm, this ln into log, if I have to convert it into log to the base 10, I have to multiply by 2.303, which is a constant value. 2.303 I have to multiply there. So what this becomes? It becomes delta G naught is equal to minus 2.303 RT log K. So when it is based to the base 10, we don't write it mentioned here, we directly write it this way. This is the expression for which connects, or the relationship between delta G naught and the equilibrium constant. Delta G naught and the equilibrium constant relationship is given by this expression. Hope it's clear. Delta G naught. Now you have to explain the terms here. That is, delta G naught is standard Gibbs free energy change. Energy change. Here 2.303 is a constant value, you know. R is universal gas constant. Universal gas constant. 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. T is temperature. K is equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant. So this is the expression which we use to connect these two important terms. Now let us see how do we get to know about the spontaneity of the reaction using this delta G naught expression. The spontaneity of the reaction can be calculated by studying Gibbs free energy change like that of entropy change. Spontaneity prediction, that means we are predicting that it might have been this way or it might be this way. So spontaneity prediction using delta G. That means you know what is delta G now? Gibbs free energy change. So here we say if delta G is greater than 0, if delta G is greater than 0 means positive, you know, isn't it? In the number line, 0 to the right all are positive, to the left of it are all negative. So this side positive, this side negative. So greater than 0 means positive. If delta G is greater than 0, that means if delta G is positive, then the process is said to be spontaneous is or non-spontaneous. Here if delta G is greater than 0, if delta G is positive, that means if free energy is more, if you can extract more work from it, that means it is non-spontaneous process. That means it is doing less work, so it has more energy. That kind of, okay? That kind of in the sense for you to remember, delta G is greater than 0, then the process is non-spontaneous. Whereas in the case of entropy, what was it? If delta S was greater than 0, then the process was spontaneous. Why? Because disorderness will be more. Where the disorderness will be more? Where the reaction is taking place. So if the reaction is taking place, that means it is a spontaneous process and entropy is more. That is why. Next condition is, if delta G is less than 0 means negative. If delta G value is negative, that means say if it is, for example, minus 100 joules, that means it is a spontaneous process. Why spontaneous process? the reaction is taking place, that is why it has less energy within it. So the process is spontaneous. The process is said to be spontaneous. Whereas, what if the condition is that delta G equals to 0? If delta G is equal to 0, then what is the condition? If delta G is equal to 0, then the system is said to be, the system is at equilibrium. The system is said to be at equilibrium. That means both the process will be taking place. Forward reaction as well as backward reaction will be taking place. But the thing is that it will be equally balanced. Both will be balanced. Therefore, we call that condition as equilibrium condition. Now with this, just by looking at the delta G value, we can say whether the process is taking place spontaneously or non-spontaneously, or whether the system is at equilibrium. Now you compare both. You can imagine this way. Delta, or you can remember this way. Actually, these questions were asked every year. Most commonly asked question it was asking about the spontaneity of the reaction in terms of delta S or delta G. But this year, probably this comes under the deleted portions, yet you cannot predict. So you will have to know all these conditions. It's important for your JEE or NEET examinations also. Next comes delta G greater than 0, delta G less than 0, delta G equals to 0. Compare these two now. So when delta S is greater than 0, that means delta S is positive, means which process? Spontaneous process. Delta S less than 0 means non-spontaneous process. Here delta S is equal to 0, equilibrium. Isn't it? This is exactly opposite. These two conditions are opposite to that of entropy. But equilibrium condition is same. So if delta G is greater than 0, opposite of this, that means non-spontaneous. If delta G is less than 0, that means the reaction is spontaneous. And the last one is same, equilibrium condition. So this is about Gibbs free energy change and entropy, that we know the conditions for spontaneity. You should be knowing the relationship. You should know how these are interconnected also. So if you know this, then the majority of the part from your textbook gets covered with this itself. There is based on these entropy, again the law, that is the second law of thermodynamics and third law of thermodynamics is stated. In second law of thermodynamics, it states that if a process is a spontaneous process, then the entropy keeps increasing. You understand? If a process is spontaneous, then the entropy keeps increasing. That is second law of thermodynamics. Third law of thermodynamics states that there is no solid which is perfectly crystalline. That is, at absolute zero temperature, no solids are perfectly crystalline, or you cannot have a perfectly crystalline solid at absolute zero temperature. That is one more third law of thermodynamics. Next, we will solve some numerical problems related to this.